Hello, everyone. This is Laura.
And this is Jackie.
And Jackie, what is coming up soon? What are we so excited about?
We're so excited for the Disneyland Half Marathon Weekend.
Yes.
The Double Dare Challenge.
Yes, it is kicking off Run Disney season. If there is an official Run Disney season, we're going to call it that. So today we are going to share some tips on how you can really make the most out of your Run Disney weekend. Now, first of all, we're assuming that you have already registered for a Run Disney race. If you have not and you would like some tips, be sure to click on this video up here and it will be linked below. So getting into number one, and that is to enter a proof of time. If you are registered for a half marathon and believe you'll be able to finish in less than 2 hours and 45 minutes, you definitely want to enter in a proof of time for a better starting corral placement. Otherwise, you'll be placed in the last corral, meaning you'll have a later start time and lines will be longer for the characters and other things.
Also, even if your time is longer than 2 hours and 45 minutes, I recommend, and I've heard from many others, that you still submit a proof of time because it will at least put you most likely ahead of the very last corral.
To enter a proof of time, you want to go to the Run Disney site, click on your event, then runner info and proof of time, and you will find the instructions there. We'll also be linking it below.
All right, number 2 is wear a running costume. I think this just really enhances the experience. It makes it more fun. You don't have to go all out and be very elaborate unless you're very creative and you want to do that. But you can sometimes just do basic theming with a sparkle athletic skirt. You can just add little touches to give an idea of a costume if you don't want to go all out. But I definitely recommend this. It has made my races more memorable through the years.
Absolutely. And it's fun if you're doing, if you're running with a group, do a group running costume. If you need some more tips on how to put together a great running costume, check out our video. And plus we have a couple blog posts, all of which will be linked below. All right, number 3 is to join a Run Disney based Facebook group. One thing I absolutely love about Run Disney Weekends is how the excitement starts long before registration, and that's thanks to talking with other runners who are excited, joining Facebook groups where you can share tips and train with each other and motivate each other. It just makes it a lot more fun. So to find a Run Disney group, very easy. Just go to Facebook, the search, and enter in Run Disney or the specific race weekend that you're registered for.
Number 4. Definitely train for these races. You need to respect the distance that you're signing up for. I have personally gone into some of the races undertrained, and it creates a very stressful race environment for myself. So I definitely recommend training. It will make it much more fun throughout. You'll be able to know you're going to finish, be ahead of those balloon ladies, and get your medal.
And also have enough juice afterwards to enjoy walking around the park, because you're not just training to finish your races, but you also have a lot of walking to do afterwards, because pixie dust only gets you so far. All right, so number 5, this is a great way to stay motivated and get excited, and that is to watch video recaps or read blog recaps. I do this often if I'm on the treadmill or I need some inspiration. I will watch a video recap from the race that I'm training for, and I tell you what, it guaranteed puts some pep in my step. To find them, just do a quick search on Google, or you can check out the many ones that we've done. We've covered a lot of race weekends. So I think we have one for everything except Paris and Avengers and Star Wars Lightside. So we're working on building our collection, but definitely try it. You will be very inspired. Plus, you always also get kind of like a lay of the land. If you have a little bit of anxiety and you want to get a feel for it beforehand, this is a good way to learn about the course. All right, so I'm going to roll into number 7, and that is to make advanced dining reservations and your Fast Pass Plus reservations. That was a mouthful to get out. But this way, if you make your advanced dining reservations 180 days in advance, you can study menus, kind of figure out what restaurants work for you, what serves the food that you are most used to, because you never want to try something new the night before a race. Go ahead and make your reservations, and it can take some of the stress off. I would recommend that you make it early, though, so you can get to bed early. Same thing with Fast Pass Pluses. If you make reservations for, if you're doing a Disney World race, not for Disneyland, not yet, that can kind of like help with your touring plan and make sure that you are more effective when you do go to the park and spending less time on your feet because you're not waiting in lines as much. So, good tip.
The next one will be read your digital event guide. This is something I did not do for a race, and I wish I had done it. All the information that you need for the race is in here. Take the time to read it over. Laura and Heather Jurgensen just did a YouTube video going through the race guide for the Disneyland race coming up. So here's the link below if you want to take a look at that. There's some great tips, and you'll get an idea of what is posted in there. Definitely take a look at this because there's sometimes some surprises. If you've done previous races, things change sometimes from race to race. So you want to make sure you do this.
All right, so this is a common theme that you will hear from all of that, but when it comes to packing, you want to get your packing done early. You're going to have a lot of early mornings during your Run Disney weekend, especially if you're signed up for all of the races, and if you travel in early the day prior to hit the expo. So the last thing you want to do is be staying up late, trying to get packed, all stressed out the night before your trip, and then you can't sleep, and you need all the sleep you can get. If you would like some packing tips, I have a seriously long, detailed blog post and video that we will be linking before, and I cover everything because I'm a major overpacker. Jackie can vouch for that. All right, so now we're going to get into some tips for when you are actually there, starting with the expo. If you're not one to bother with crowds and getting Run Disney merchandise is not high up on your priority list, then you definitely want to go to the expo during slower times. I know for Disney World, it's especially a lot more chaotic. If you get there on the first day of the expo at opening time, you're going to be fighting with eBayers and personal shoppers and other runners all trying to get this Run Disney merchandise. So if you would like a more relaxing, peaceful time, go in the afternoon. Disneyland, usually the evenings are more crowded, or like on Friday or Saturday because it's a big local, a lot of locals come out to do it. So if you go during these slower, more relaxing times, you can chill, maybe even watch a guest speaker. Definitely want to check out the event guide for a list of the schedule and the maps to make it easier on you.
All right, so I realize some of you are very competitive runners. You are maybe trying to qualify for a certain race, or your ultimate goal is to get a PR with every race. But if you are not in that group of people, I suggest let the PR go and just enjoy the experience. There's so much to offer throughout the race with characters and photo opportunities and just connecting with other runners that if your goal is to do that, you're going to miss out on so much. So I recommend forget the PR and just truly enjoy your race experience.
Yes, because it's going to go by so fast, regardless.
Yes.
Exactly.
And it's so expensive, and you know what? These races offer something that most other races do not. So why travel? Why go through all this if you're not going to take the benefits that come with it?
Yes. So slow down, relax.
Yeah, have fun.
All right. So number 11, and like I said, we say this a lot, but you definitely want to get to the races early.
Yes.
Early. I preach this all the time, and it's so true. My first Princess Half, I got stuck in traffic, and I had to run from the bus stop all the way to the start line. It was a very long walk, very stressful. So if you are taking the bus service, you want to be down at the bus stop 15 minutes prior to when they start the service. That way you're definitely on that first bus. When you do this, you have a better chance of getting more character pictures. You can relax and hit the porta pots, check in your gear, dance to the DJ. It's such a fun, amazing environment. You have to be there to believe it, so you don't want to miss a second.
So the next one is interact with the spectators. They're out there standing there all morning, waking up just as early to cheer you on. And it's such a good give and take, running by, giving high fives, taking pictures for people who went out of their way to make fun signs. It truly enhances the experience. The spectators at Disney races are so much fun, and they're enjoying the moment, and I appreciate them so much because you can tell the difference when you run through those parts for everyone's cheering. It feels so good, and I appreciate it, and I'm sure that they all love to see how much I do. So I always try to make sure I'm like high-fiving, waving, interacting with them. So definitely try to do that.
And if you really want to get the crowd going, when you run through, shout out, thank you for being here. And oh my gosh, we always do that. And it will make them go crazy. And it's just so awesome and so fun. I've cheered for a race before and it's tiring. So I appreciate it a lot. Something else that I also do is I unplug. I have done a lot of Run Disney races and I've only brought earbuds for 2 of them. One of which because I got no sleep the night before and I needed the extra pick me up. But otherwise, I love to listen to the park music and the conversations around me and the pounding of the feet on pavement. It's just, I don't know, I love it. I love to soak it all in. At every mile marker, they have some music playing most times for whatever character is being portrayed. It's wonderful. It really brings you in the moment. So consider leaving the earbuds behind, or if you do wear them, have them low with only one in. It's a good safety precaution as well.
So the next one is stop for characters. This is such a treat while running. Stop. You can get some great photos throughout your race, and not just the Disney characters. You can pose with cast members, some fun backgrounds, and really get creative and silly as you're running. And please note, though, keep track of time. If those of you are concerned about, getting swept or those balloon ladies, keep an eye on the lines. Keep account for how long you're going to be in line. You don't want to get swept because you are standing in line for characters. So,
no.
I mean, you got to find a good balance. Keep an eye. If the lines are looking too long and it's not your favorite character, then maybe move on to the next one.
Or get a run by, like get a little selfie with them in the background. We have done that many times.
You angle your selfie just so that your head's blocking the person that's standing with the character, or catch them in between the two runners getting pictures, and then at least you keep track of who was there. And you don't want to get swept, but if you know you have enough time, stop and enjoy those perks of running a Disney race.
Yes, just be sure to not set your Garmin to pause when you stop, because you definitely want to keep an accurate count of how long you're taking, so you don't have the run-in with the balloon ladies or the bikes. Jackey and I have had that before, and it's very stressful when you see the balloons coming towards you in the back. We know that from experience. So yes, have a good time, enjoy the stops, get mile marker photos, but remember, finish line is the ultimate goal. And if you would like to learn more about how to get great race photos and character photos, I will be putting up a video very soon. And I also have a blog post about that. So,
all right.
Okay, I've lost count of what number we're on, so we're just going to roll with it. But this is a big one, and that is no, it will be crowded. These races are big, especially for the Disney World races. You have a lot of runners. Sometimes the course does get narrow. Sometimes you're going to have some hairpin turns, and it can get crowded and congested. Also, if you are a faster runner and you do stop for those character photos and the mile marker photos, that's going to put you in other time groups. So you are going to have to dodge walkers or slower runners. If that is something that you don't think you would enjoy or would give you extra stress, then maybe get your character photos before the race and after the race, and then stick with more of your natural pace so you can run at a style that you're more used to. But otherwise, it's going to be crowded, and it's all good. Everyone is going to be, having fun and excited. There's going to be moments where someone maybe cuts you off by accident. Just go with the flow. Go with the flow. Follow.
Don't get nasty. No reason to I just roll with it.
Roll with it.
Come to the territory. You may have to even walk at times. I know I did the Tinkerbell. I mean, we were a stroll walk through the castle, and in my imagination, I'm going to run and get this great picture running out like I've seen, but I started too far near the back, unfortunately, and that's the way it was. And you can't change it. It is what it is. So just make the best of it. The next one is be ready for some photo pass photographers. Throughout the race, there will be photographers set up throughout. So keep your eye out, keep your face smiling, be ready for it, because you can get some wonderful race photos. Make sure you wear your bib in a prominent location where they can see your number. That way you can find your photos. And make sure also you don't jump and, be aware of your surroundings when you do see the photographers, because, the other person next to you, they'd like a nice picture too. So just be aware of your surroundings, be considerate, but try to get that great photo. If you're someone, I admit I'm like that person. I tend to look at my phone a bit when running. Try to put it away. I know I have to work on that because when some of my races, I look at the pictures and here I'm like this through half the pictures. So, you know, I've learned put it down, enjoy the experience, and smile.
Okay, so we're getting down to the wire here, and this one is a little bit of an oddball tip, but if you're someone who has to go to the bathroom all the time, you're going to appreciate it. For a Disney World race, most of them will end in the Epcot parking lot, so you're going to finish up by running through Epcot, where there are going to be several real bathrooms. You want to stop and hit one of those bathrooms before the finish line rather than waiting until afterwards, because then you're going to have to wait until you go through the chute to get your medal, and then the chute to get your drink, and then you're going to have the photo pass opportunities, and then you get your snack, and then you got to get your gear bag, and then finally you're going to hit the porta pots. So go ahead, get your pee out of the way, so after you finish you can relax with a nice empty comfortable bladder. You're laughing, Jackie, but I'm telling you, it's a good tip. Now for Disneyland, it's a little bit more of a challenge because you are going to most likely be finishing either through Disneyland or California Adventure back stages. So at one of the last water stops, if you see the porta pot, go ahead and hit that up. So I'm telling you.
That's good though. It's a good tip.
All right, Jackie, what do we love to do after the races end? What's a really good tip?
I love to hang out in the race area where all the finishers are coming through and dance to the music, enjoy the DJ, hang out with my friends, cheer on the finishers. That's part of my favorite part of the whole experience.
Yes.
First of all, it's good on your body. I've learned this. Hanging around, dancing, I know it sounds silly, but you will feel so much better the next day.
Yeah, you're going to shake out that lactic acid and really...
Seriously. Keep moving, keep grooving. I mean, I have had friends who are like, we got to go. And I always say, okay, I'm hanging out here. And luckily, Laura, I have you to do that with. But I feel like they're missing out because I can still go eat a little bit later. But it's so fun to see others chit chat, make friends.
Yeah.
You know, interact even with the DJ. It's great.
Now for the Disneyland races, there's less of a social atmosphere after the races, you know, because they don't have any type of food vendors out or anything like that. But if you would like a beer, a good tip is to go to Earl of Sandwich. We actually did that last year. Rob and I got a beer, and the way the race course was last year, we could sit there by the window and see the people coming in through the finishing area. And our goal was to get done and go out in time for Jackie and James, but they were a little too fast. We're sitting there glugging it, and there they go running by. So sorry, guys. It would have been nice, but there you go.
The thought that counts.
It is the thought that counts. You were in my heart. 2 more to go, Jackie, and I'm taking the second to the last one, and that is to take it all in. Take it all in, especially for those of you who are doing your very first Run Disney race. I know it can get overwhelming, especially if you have anxiety issues like me. Relax, step back, take it all in, enjoy everything for what it is. Sometimes with these Run Disney races, they don't quite go as expected. It's okay though. You're in Disney World or you're in Disneyland. It's all good. Take it all in. Just relax and enjoy the whole thing, start to finish. And speaking of finishing, Jackie, I'm leaving you with the last one, and that has to do with the medal. What should they do with that medal?
You know what you should do with your medal? Wear your medal. Be proud of it. I'll never forget my first Princess Half. Like, the people I was with didn't want to wear their medals. I don't know why. They thought it was bragging or weird, and I have no pictures of me in front of the castle or anything with my medal, and it makes me sad. That was my first race. Why didn't I do that? Why didn't I go with my gut? So
because you didn't know me back then. I was there.
No, see, and there were no videos like this to teach me the way. So now I wear my medal. I'm proud. And you know what? It's so fun because while you're in the parks, people are congratulating you, or you can meet other runners while you're in line and ask about their race and get some wonderful photos throughout the park. So wear your medal, be proud. I wear it all the way to the plane on the way home.
Yep. So there you go, 20 ways that you can make the most out of your Run Disney vacation. We have more, but we had to cut it off at somewhere. So we're going to be sharing even more in upcoming videos. So until then, thank you so much for watching. We truly appreciate the support. Give us a thumbs up if you found it enjoyable or helpful. subscribe for more video updates. Enjoy your Run Disney race. We're so excited for you, and we want to hear all about it. Please leave in the comments below what you were signed up for and what you are most looking for. Until then, as always, take care and have a joyful day.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.